Welcome everybody to this live stream. I will be, if you remember, this it feels like it's been 100 years since we live streamed together, but it really hasn't been that much. So, if you remember, we were working on these two pendants, our sweet, sweet Carolina wren and our sweet hummingbird. And after I closed out, whenever it was I was live streaming last, I did go ahead and put a second coat right here on this. So each of these pendants has 2 coats of color. So yes, we're going to finish them. And I'm just going to let you know I'm streaming through Switcher, and I think I'm going to be able to watch my stream chat from my laptop, which I have kind of set up to my left-hand side, but I can't see who's watching or anything like that from my phone. And if you're watching from YouTube, I can't see your chats. So I can, if I pivot my phone, which I might do when we're taking a little break, I'll pivot my phone and see if I can see if anyone's made some comments or not. So, we're still, I bet you're sick of it. Trust me, I'm sick of it too. So before we get started with these, we got a lot to do. I thought we'd do something kind of fun. We're going to do an unboxing. Oh, I just ordered some enamels from Switzerland. I saw, I am such an enamel whore. Am I allowed to say that? I love enamels. And I saw a couple of weeks ago that somebody on Facebook had just gotten all these fresh enamels from a company they were, I think, in Europe. And so I'm like, well, who is this? These enamels look really interesting. So I go to their website, and I think I'd been to their website a long time ago, but 2 things conspired to make me I dropped a lot of money to order these enamels. And one thing was they changed their website, so it was very easy to order. Thank you. And also, the dollar's doing pretty good against the euro, so that inspired me to check out some of these. Oh, I also got some of this. This is an enamel adhesive that I thought I would give a go, while you're buying things. So we're not going to go through this too much, but very exciting. Mostly, I got a few of these powders. There's a 1729 wine that I'm excited about. I got a bunch of new opal colors that I'm excited about making samples with. But I'm really getting into lump enamels. So there are some of these. Look at this. Coral red number 112 lumps. I cannot wait to make a sample with this. Look at this color. Don't eat it, but so delicious. I'm losing some of these, but I'm really looking forward to putting these in getting them out of the baggies for one. That'll be a whole thing. And I love how wonderful. This is rose, so it'll be a blushy pink. This will be a beautiful blushy pink enamel. So there's definitely, maybe over Christmas, I am going to have a marathon sample strip making. I haven't even really looked. Violet. Oh, I have this I've got some of these purples already, but I've been really working on upping my lump game. Hey, I see it like a blue in there. So we'll see if that's what's going on with that. Turquoise, I'm on board with. But yeah, this coral red looks really beautiful. But I ordered these not long enough ago that I don't quite remember what I ordered. So what is this? Looks interesting. Ooh, a rose. Rose number 85. So it remains to be seen what shade of rose that is, how that will turn pink. I know the science. I'm going to just look at that one last one. We're going to pull out this one and see what this is. What is this? Ruby red. Look at that. That's going to be ruby red. I am excited. So, and if you're wondering how on earth this is ruby red enamel, well, you could subscribe to my Vimeo channel. I have a video about how they make vivid red enamel using gold. So I mean, or you could look it up online, you know, whatever you want to do. So, oh, I can see on my thing that I've got some comments. Hey, good morning. Oh, Parasani. Sorry, I don't, it's like a little bit away, so I don't have my glasses. I mean, I'm wearing my glasses, but they're not my computer glasses. So, welcome. And that definitely works. I'm glad to see that I can see the chat at least on my laptop. So, join me over the holidays. It's going to be I have so many that I need to make sample strips. I could probably spend 2 solid weeks making sample strips, and it would be time well spent. So, if you find yourself with time over the holidays, maybe we'll even do it on Thanksgiving. I don't know. We're going to do sample strips with all of these wonderful, wonderful colors from Switzerland. So, thank you. Oh, and if you're interested where I got it, it's all on there. Heiler. Forgive my pronunciation, but I believe it's that.com. I'll see if I can find the link. It is, no, they don't have their, of course they've got their telephone, but they don't have their website on the invoice. So you'll just have to do a Google search for them. If you are located in, to be honest, I was surprised at how, I thought that they were really well priced. Even with the addition of the postage, I thought these were great prices. So if you're in the United States, you should check these out. But of course, give your money to enamelartsupply.com as well. They have some lovely, lovely enamels. And I believe they're having a 20% off sale right now on all of their Ninomiya colors, at least for one more day, I hope. I don't get any kickbacks from anybody, so that's just free info. There we go. That was really fun. And I just wanted, if I didn't have tons to do, I would be playing with those enamels today. But, you know, work beckons. Oh, quick update. Remember the yellow? Were you watching the yellow pendant from last week? She loved it. She sent me this huge email. It was all in a huge font that said, "I love it." So I was so worried that she wasn't going to like that tinge of chartreuse. She loved it. So hooray for happy customers. Now we're going to get a little closer, but we're not going to do the enameling just yet. We are going to have to do a little bit of sifting and washing. I have pretty much all of the color on these 2 pieces, and what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to be doing a little bit of areas with punching up the color a little bit, but for the most part I'm going to be switching to a combination of really pale colors because I don't want to go darker, and fluxes, and you'll see what I mean very soon. So I'm going to set these aside temporarily. Oh, I'm also going to take one moment and plug my phone in to the charger so we don't run out of juice. There we go. And we're going to be using, remember when we had that wah-wah moment with the N55 very pale blue? I didn't have any sifted. We're going to start our day by remedying this situation. I'm going to sift. I like to have this ready to go sifted. I don't generally, unless I'm making a sample strip, pre-sift all of my colors, but I like to have this because I like to use this as a sifted base sometimes, so I like to have it pre-sifted. So I'm going to go ahead and sift some of this, and then we'll wash it, and we're going to use it as one of our top coats. We're also going to be using, this is already sifted, our lovely Ninomiya N24 very pale yellow. And, you know, we're going to be breaking out, this is a Ninomiya Flux. I'm going to use it very sparingly as a top coat. And you know what? I'm probably going to sift this as well. So we'll be sifting 2, washing 3. Buckle up, everybody. It's going to get exciting around here. And look at this. Nice. I love having a nice healthy amount of enamel, but look at how powdery this enamel is. It's really finely ground, and I want to remove the bits of enamel that might make my pieces cloudy. So let me also remind you that whenever you do any kind of sifting, you really need to wear a particulate mask. And I admit, sometimes in a video, I'll say, don't forget to wear your particulate mask. And maybe I'm wearing it, maybe I'm not. You don't know. I guarantee you I'm wearing my particulate mask. So if I seem a little like far away, it's because I'm wearing this. And I'm going to put it on right now. There we go. See, you can hear that I'm a little fuzzy because I'm wearing my mask and I didn't need to take my glasses off. There we go. So we have a sifter. And for pre-sifting my enamels, I use a 200 mesh sifter. And I'm going to take a moment and wipe it out a little bit because I'm like, what is this? And I'm going to get a damp paper towel. There we go. And let's just wipe this out. Because you don't want any bits of whatever we sifted last time to be in here. Oh, let's exposure. Whatever. I'm going to wipe this. And got that. We've got this one. That will collect everything. And it remains to be seen how much we want to sift. A lot. I use this color a lot, so I'm going to sift quite a bit. And I'm going to take a moment. I don't want those clumps to be super clumpy. There we go. Let's get a nice... I have a spoon somewhere, but I'm not sure where it went. All right. Let me take a moment and break up any clumps because there we go. Perfect. Now we'll close this. This is just very excitamente. And we're just going to give it a little shake. You're going to be amazed. We're probably going to be keeping about half of it. But that's fine. We're not throwing anything away. And actually sifting is good because you can save those really fine particles and use them for when you're doing delicate blending, or you could turn them into enamel paints, whatever. You could use them counter enamel. I don't care. But I won't be using them on the tops of my enamels as top coats. So you can see. There we go. See how nice that is? And all of this. Look at this floof in there. So we're keeping this. This is what we're going to be using today. And we're going to be, I'll show you how I mark these. I fold them up in the paper. I mark what it is and I put it in a baggie for later. And that's pretty much what happens. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do a little bit more than this. I've got my ready to go thing. I'm going to have to lift it up just a little bit. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to do one more little batch. So we'll keep this in there for now. And let's just... That's honestly... That's enough. I'm going to take a moment, press it down a little bit. cover this. I don't like to leave this stuff uncovered. Oh, good morning, Molly Fluos. I'm great at pronouncing things today. Welcome and thanks for chatting. Again, if you are on YouTube, I cannot see if you're leaving comments. And if you want to chat, you need to come visit me on Twitch. Hold on, let's see if I have a pop-up screen. No. Where do I find my outputs? I want to switch effects. Oh, never mind. Inputs, outputs, effects. Close. All right, I'll stop fussing. Oh, there we are. Here it is. Here it is. If you're on YouTube and you want to leave a comment, go to Twitch and follow me there. So that is it. Look at that fancy thing that I just did. Yeah, it took me like 5 minutes to find it. I can't remember. Getting better, getting better. So I could have been shaking this and talking at the same time, but it's like rubbing my belly and tapping my head. Not much of a multitasker. I'm holding it together. I'm barely holding it together, getting things in the kiln and coming back and doing other things. Usually one thing at a time for me. Well, sifting, to answer your question, Molly asked, does sifting serve the same purpose as washing? They're different things. I don't always sift, but I always wash. So sifting is good for two reasons. Is if you're just washing from this, if you just take this and you wash it, you're going to be dumping all of the fines into the garbage. Or I guess you could be scooping them out, but they're going to be wet, and you're going to be doing a lot more washing because it's just a lot of fines in here. But that's fine. That's perfectly fine. And I do that about, most of my enamels, unless I'm making a sample strip or it's a color that I like to use as a sifted color, I don't generally pre-sift them. So, but I've been in the process of making sample strips a lot lately. So I do have a lot of colors that are already sifted. And if they've been pre-sifted, they don't take as much time to wash, which is also kind of nice. And you get to save. You're not throwing anything away. You're keeping, look at all this. We're saving this. And we're going to use this today, but we're going to save this. So that is a good reason to pre-sift. So there we go. So this is our sifted blue. Look at the difference in color, how it really, the color is a lot more intense with the sifted, and these are the fines. And so generally what I do with these is I take all the fines. I'll save that. And I usually fold it up between this paper. Fold it like this. Don't ask me why I do it like this, but this is just how I do it. Flip it over. I mark what it is. And 55, very pale blue. And then I actually have a baggie that I'll put this in, and I consolidate all of this. So whenever I need, a really, really finely ground version of this color, I know these are the fines. So that's going to go in a baggie so it doesn't get all over. And that's what I do with it. And I honestly don't use a ton of this stuff. And I keep meaning to send a bunch to Mary Lee Ray because she uses a lot more fines than I do. But someday I'll use them. So that is good. And I am going to wipe this out. I'm going to actually get a fresh one. And I'm going to quickly just sift the barest amount of this N4, which is a Ninomia flux, which we're going to use very sparingly on the top. So I'm just going to go get another set of sifters. The one nice thing about doing a lot of teaching is I have pretty much multiples of every item. I don't just have one set of sifters. I have lots in case there's like 10 people that need to sift. It just makes things easy. So this one is done. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And this won't take much time at all because I'm not going to sift very much of this. So, and I do like, if you know anything about my process, you know I've been kind of, I used to use, if you watch older videos of mine, I used to use this flux. This is a flux. Flux just means clear enamel. And I used to use this particular flux a lot as a top coat for almost everything, but I've really kind of been transitioning away from that in favor of other things. And you'll see what those other things are later today because, you know, it's just, it it tends to deteriorate really fast. We're not going to wash but the small amount that we're going to use today because it deteriorates really fast once you get it wet. And sometimes, especially over darker colors, it can go a little cloudy. So that's kind of the sadness about clear enamels is you think, oh, it should just be perfect, but it's not ideal. But I still love it, and there's still reasons to use it. And also, I probably have 3 kilos of it all, all told. So it's good to kind of use. If I'm not going to use it, well, that's not true. I have a lot of enamels I'll probably never use, but there we go. We're just going to. Oh, and I do need to. While I am shaking this, I'm going to go get a container to put the sifted bits in. I'm going to take it with me. Here's a nice, oh, and I took it with me, but then I didn't sift it. I really like to put things in glass jars, and yeah, these are plastic containers, but nice and solid. They're not going to do any, everything will be nice and protected in here. And obviously, I can't tell you exactly where I bought these, but it rhymes with Blamazon, Trime, whatever. I guess I'm sure I could say that. That was my joke for the day. Oh, you. How can you tell if it's deteriorated? Well, your piece is ruined. So that's how you can tell. No, I mean, you can, that's kind of, I didn't mean to be snarky about it, but, and I don't know if it's because it's just, I live in North Carolina and it is very humid here. So this stuff, I had noticed that if I washed, and this is just true of this particular color, and it wasn't true of some of the earlier batches, but this batch that I have here, and it wouldn't also be true of if I started with lump. So it deteriorates, and you fire it, and you get these really strange white flecks on your fired piece, and it's awful. So sometimes you can really fire them and they'll burn away. Sometimes you can grind them away, and sometimes it's just sad days, sad news. But that's why I only wash it immediately before I use it. And even if, I come back tomorrow and I need to use a little bit more of this stuff, I'm going to wash more of it. So it's kind of, and I've had good results with that. I mean, if that didn't work, I wouldn't be using this stuff at all. But it's just, it's temperamental. It's a friend that is prickly, but you still love them and you've known them for a long time. So you kind of work around their foibles. So, and I'm going to label this real fast. Don't forget to label both. There we go. And so we'll take that. Yeah, and in my mind, this whole process of sifting and washing was going to take like 5 minutes, and I can see that it's like 30 minutes in. Everything always takes longer. So we have a nice small batch of sifted N4. Just like that. So that's good. This is kind of my triumvirate of colors that I use for top coats here. Lovely. And yes, all Nino Mia. which are 20% off at enamelartsupply.com. Which I haven't put up, you know, I have to put my order in. Don't order anything until I've had a chance. But I have a list in my head of things I want to order from them. So we're going to save this. And I'll wash these out afterwards. No one needs to hang out while I carefully wash them. And so just going to get this one out of the way. And 4. Boom. To be filed. Just like that. Now we've sifted, because these are going as top coats. Now we have to wash. It'll just be the work of a moment. I mean, you know what a moment means, I guess 20 minutes in enamel talk. But it will be, I'm going to do kind of a big wash instead of a little wash. So I'm just about to do a new video about how to wash. That is going to do 2 versions of washing. But because I need it to be kind of quick and really, really well washed, I'm going to do my kind of traditional method, which uses a lot of water. So actually I don't even need that. I need a lot of this. It doesn't matter how much I wash of the blue or the yellow, because that stuff will last a long time. That's plenty. There we go. And then the N4, hello buddy. We don't need much because it's just the tips of those tails. Honestly, I think a little bit more. That's what I'm going to wash. Not very much at all. And I am still wearing my respirator. So safety first, everyone. Let me grab the water. And I've got an old bucket. Gross old bucket. We'll put that right there. And I'm using distilled water. Here's my bucket. There we go. Bucket. Don't do this down your drain. Not worth it. You don't want this stuff clogging up your pipes. I do it into the bucket. I let the bucket sit overnight, and then I pour it into another bucket, and then I wipe out the residue and put that into the garbage. So, but this won't take much time at all. But see how the first one's a little cloudy? Actually, not so bad because these are pre-sifted. But still a little on the cloudy side. This one probably not very cloudy at all because there's just not that much enamel. And so I just give it a moment. And yes, this uses a lot of water. And no, you don't have to wash like this. I feel attacked by the way I wash my enamels. But I don't always do it like this, but I do it like this a lot. So it's quicker, actually. And I'm just pouring this off. So all those little tiny bits that make your enamels cloudy are getting poured into the bucket. There we go. And then I'm going to do that again. Usually with a washed enamel, 2 times will do ya. Doing this 2 times will be fine. But because I am also crazy, I always add 1 more at the end. So just exciting stuff. But yeah, you can see even now, it's already so much clearer here. There we go. Go. That looks good. I'm going to do the blue 1 more time because it wasn't as perfectly clear as it could have been. And this is a great, it doesn't have to be these 2 particular shades. If you can't find Nino Mia, Hirasawa has some really lovely aqua pale blues. I think they're like, is it 6 AA pale aqua will do the trick as well. As long as it plays well with silver, it'll be a good base coat. And there's this a very similar yellow in Hirasawa as well. So don't feel, and yeah, I'm going to do this one. Just don't judge me. I do what I want. There we go. So that is beautiful. So all that remains is to put these into some little cups so we can use them. I'm just going to put this under the sink to chill out. There we go. And then finally, we've got our three little guys. Obviously, if they were similar looking enamels, I mean, obviously this one's the yellow, the blue, I would have probably labeled these just so I didn't get confused. 1, 2, 3. I'm not even going to get a lid for the clear since it's so short-lived, but, and 55, and 55, very pale blue, and N24, very pale yellow, and then this is N4. And we'll do N24. There we go. Save those. Getting closer. We will eventually get to some enameling today. And these pieces are due tomorrow. Quite literally tomorrow. I don't even know what I'm fooling around. There we go. There's our N4. Which one is blue? Yellow. Getting them out of the cups kind of takes a little finessing. There we go. Yellow. And then our blue. Lovely. Now I'm going to get a fresh piece of paper. And obviously if you want to pick up these little bits and put them in, you can. Got a nice, now we are so ready. I'm going to turn the kiln on before I forget. So let's do that. Let's do it together. There we go. Well, the kiln is idling and it is 74 degrees Fahrenheit right now. That's the... Whew. Let's just see. 1, 2, 3. Set it to 1430 Fahrenheit, 776 Celsius. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. There we go. That'll take about 10 minutes to come to temperature. We'll get this out of the way. That's garbage. Garbage. And now we are ready. I'm going to get some clean distilled water while I have this over here. Nice fresh cup. A nice piece paper towels. That. And one more cup. And we are going to get this out of the way. Just trying to keep things tidy so it doesn't get chaotic in here. Now we are ready. We'll start with this little guy. And I'm going to zoom in. Hold on. I'm going to take a moment and see about. It's going to take a second to get it set up so that we can all see. I've definitely gotten feedback about not being able to see what I'm doing. It's a combination of me being able to see plus you needing to be able to see. So let me just put this right here. That's good. I'm gonna zoom in. Oops. Hold on. We'll get it. Hopefully that's better. We're working on getting better technology, but that's a work in progress. So there we have it. That's better than before, I think. And let's see if we can get a little bit more light. It's so funny how it seems really dark in here. We're going to do that, and we're going to lock the focus, and then maybe a little exposure. There we go. How's that? White balance? No, I'm not going to work with the white balance. So I'm going to keep this open in case I need to change. So it shouldn't be, if I keep it here, things will be in focus. We're getting there. We're getting there. Now, I know I said I was just using our 3 triumvirate colors, but there are a few areas in this Carolina wren that I just want to punch up a little bit. So we're going to bring in just a few colors. And also I've got this is G771 Pale Water. And I'm actually going to use that over the blue to kind of green up the blues a little bit. So we're going to use this color. And then I also want a little bit more redness in his wing. So if you remember, we were using this dark red. And yes, it doesn't look like dark red, but this is a dark red. We're going to put this over just that area of the ring to get a wing, not ring, just to get a little bit more oomph in that area. And yeah, so that's going to be, I do need to do a quick little mini wash for these. So, because we were just using this one yesterday. So this one's almost good to go, but we'll just pour you off. Here's the mini wash. There we go. One more. So there we go. Beautiful. Now, a little bit, just to wake these colors up. Nice. Now, I need a brush. We're going to use a nice small brush right here. And I don't spend a lot of money on my brushes because they tend to deteriorate pretty fast. So I think I get these from Dick Blick Art Supply, which is an online seller. And I buy them in bunches of 5. So they're not that expensive in the scheme of things. So basically I'm going to do the red in here. And let's just do that first because it's a little splotchy. I want it to be a little bit more luxurious. So let me bring my clean water where my hand can get it. Clean water, lovely. And I'm just going to put a little water just like that. And I'm also having a look, making sure, because this has been sitting, I mean, I did cover it to make sure dust and debris didn't fall in, but I'm making sure that there's no little flecks of, flotsam that have kind of fallen into any of these areas, and everything looks nice and clean. You could give it a nice rinse in some distilled water just to be sure, but your best bet is to keep it covered or in a baggie when you're not using it, which I didn't quite do that, so that's why I'm having a little look. And so I'm going to put, I hate this brush, hold on, let me switch brushes. I'm like, oh, look at this brush. It's just, that brush was, you know, on its way out. This brush is better. So we'll start with our nice ruby red. And then I'm going to put this red away so I don't accidentally, because remember what we did last time? This is clear enamel. This is vivid red enamel. You can see how things could go terribly wrong. And things have gone terribly wrong. Not recently, thankfully, but I tend to keep these vivid reds that look clear because they're made of gold out of my initial, like once I use them, I set them far away. So if I want them, I have to really reach for them. So I can't accidentally grab them and put them on thinking they're clear. Oh, did I actually? Oh, I did turn on the kiln. I was like, it's one of those things that you do so often that your brain doesn't even record you doing it. So you have to be like, I actually had to, I went home yesterday and I actually came back because I was like, I couldn't remember if I'd turned the kiln off. Of course I'd turned the kiln off. And luckily I only live like 5 minutes away, but I was like, I'm 80% sure I turned the kiln off. So, and the kiln will supposedly turn itself off after 5 hours, but do I trust that? No. So, there we go. So this is that lovely ruby red. Nice and good. Perfect. Now, do I want, you know what? I think I might do a little bit more orange in here too. So let me go get some of this N24 dark orange. I'll be right back. 23. Sorry, N23. Whatever. 23. 20. There we go. I brought both up just because this is what we originally used. These are 2 Ninomiya colors, my favorite golds. And I just feel that we need a little bit more richness in his belly, since his belly is just so cute and you want it to be scrumptiddly-umptious. So I'm going to just do, this is the 3rd coat, which is where you're doing all the finessing. So, you know, you're punching up, it's your last opportunity to punch up the vividness. You're tweaking shades. Because in the next coat, we're getting a little bit close to the surface, and you run the risk of kind of grinding out what you're doing. So I'm just going to a little bit more. Straight up like that. I think that's nice. And just a little bit of this N20. It's this exact same color, but just a little bit lighter. Just right like that. And then we're done with those. Here is our friend, the very pale yellow. See how there's a little bit of cloudiness in there? See, I'm always washing again. Got a little bit more. Yeah, I realize I'm zoomed in. You can't see what I'm doing just off screen. There we go. One more. There we go. I just don't want there to be any cloudiness. There we go. Nice. And good, that doesn't count as spilling. And now a little bit of yellow right here. A little bit of yellow. A little bit of yellow. Nice. And I also realized I need one other. Well, we'll do the blue over that. That'll be fine. So now here are the few little areas that I'm going to use clear flux and for. These areas with the white and these areas with the stripes, because if I put yellow over them, it's really going to tinge everything a little bit yellow. Don't want that. Same goes with the blue. So I am going to put baby blue over his black eye and here, because I'd rather have the black areas, if they're not perfectly opaque, so I'd rather them tinge towards the blue, but clear here, clear there. And oh, see, my hand went for the red, which I've now put on the very, very farthest reaches. This is the clear. We'll just do that. I also am thinking I'm going to grab the brown and get a little, it's a process. As I'm doing it, I'm making decisions. Get some brown caramel. Remember our beautiful caramel. I just want to get a little touch of that right under his eye, it's a little flat. So I'm going to do a quick mini wash. And straight up. Excellent. So I love this caramel. It's so sweet. It's one of those perfect, beautiful browns. It neither has a green cast or a blue cast. It's really very neutral. So I'm just a little bit more right under there. And we don't want the platinum. Platinum is a no. I ended up not using any platinum because I thought it went a little yellow the last time, so I skipped the platinum. A little bit of this. And I'm going to do the clear here right above his eye. And these are all very subtly colored, so I'm not stressing out about if a few flecks of clear get in the others and a little blue gets in here. It's going to be fine. It's very, very pale colors that we're doing. And you know what? I think I'm going to do caramel here. Punch this up just a little bit. And the caramel. There we go. I'm going to do a quick dollop. I can hear Clicky is ready. He's very excited to get to the fun part of melting glass. Just a moment, Clicky. Oh, what did I just do? So we're done with that. And a little blue. I could grab some gray. I keep picking this. But for the eye, you could put pale gray over that, but I think the blue will be fine. So I'm going to put a little dollop of blue right over his eye. I still will not put that N4 flux over any actual dark color because it tends to go milky over that, no matter how much you've washed it. Sometimes, not necessarily always, but if it's a dark color, like if it were a cobalt blue, I would not put Might as well just do that. And now we're going to do clear over his tail and then the background. Right like this. Just like that. I'm going to put a little this. Here. Just like that. And a little bit. I mean, I say don't worry about it getting everywhere, but then, I mean, don't go crazy about it. There we go. All right, we'll get his little feet. We're gonna do his feet in this the baby blue. It's not actual baby blue, but I like to say the word baby. So, just and we'll do his other little footsie, and then the background, and then done. I'd like to think that there's this coat and then one more, but we'll see where we are. A little bit right in there. Just like that. Now we're going to do the background. I'm going to switch to our yellow. I think these are nice. So I've got a lot of water. It's a little bit too wet, so I'm going to dump some of that water out. I want it to be just right. Right in there. Yet, like I was saying, these curlicues, it takes a lot of time to get. You don't want any enamel to not get into all the nooks and crannies here. So you have to be really kind of cognizant of what's going on. that right? Very good. Oops, let me drop my glasses. Sometimes I just have to have a thought. I don't know why I'm so high up. There we go. Oh, that's... That's good. Put a dollop of the yellow in these dots. Get you. Dollop. Just like that. Now, I think I want to actually use, I know we spent all this time sifting and washing this, but we're going to be using that in the other one, I promise. I think I'm going to go with this slightly greener tinged. I want my exterior blue to be just a touch more on the greenish blue side. And this color is very soft. It's not going to green it out entirely, but it'll just soften that blue a little bit, which is what I want. That's what I want. And that's the nice thing about having multiple layers is you can blend colors all in the same layer, but you can also layer different colors on top of each other and get some really nice, beautiful colors you wouldn't normally get, and effects, just, because the light is traveling through layers of different colors, which gives it this really vivid luminosity. Just like that. Dollop, dollop. There we go. A little bit. There we go. Doop, doop, doop. A little bit more right there. Ah, there. Let's have a looky-loo. That is nice. And you can wick it if you want, but be really careful. I tend, because there's a lot of things going on, so if you were going to just be wicking it just from the exterior to speed that up, but honestly, this is going to have plenty of time to dry while we do our friend, the hummingbird. So we're going to go put you under the heat lamp, and hold on, incoming. Zoop, 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 zoop. Hey, buddy. Now it's your turn. Now, I'm going to go put this under there. You can admire sweet, sweet hummingbird, and I'll be right back. Now, yeah, definitely let me know if this is working. You can see better than the last time. I think it's working good, but definitely let me know if you feel like I need to work on focus, exposure. It's a process. So I'm going to try to get a little bit better every time. I've ordered a really nice microphone, so the sound should, well, it's going to take 3 or 4 days to get delivered, but hopefully by next week, the end of next week, I'll sound better anyway. So there is this, and I'm loving the colors with this sweet little guy. And we only have one coat of, see this hot pink where his throat is? We're going to definitely do another coat of that hot pink because I want that to be very hot pink. Again, yes. So we were using our beautiful Aoki, the Aoki red, the magical unicorn red. And we'll just give it a quick little wash from yesterday. I quite literally own 4 ounces of this color, and when it's gone, I'll probably never be able to get any more. So unless you send it to me as a present, if you have some Aoki 105B, presents please. So beautiful. We're going to use that. Honestly, it's a gorgeous hot pink, but there's plenty of hot pinks out there. But I mean, you can't compare. So we're going to just start with this while I'm doing it because I can clean up. I'll be able to see if it goes anywhere else and clean it up. And I'm just going to get in all these little crevices of his throat, just like that. Thinking about things. I need to actually adjust the focus of my... Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. It's important to use some water with these because you don't want the enamel to, sit on top of these wires. You want it to get really pulled down into all the crevices. Good. Zip that up just a little bit. There we go. Now I'm just going to wick a little bit of that moisture, and I'm going to find my tweezers and just make sure everything is, you know, in the right spot. There we go. Nice. Now, I'm also going to go grab some N20. I feel like I want to enrich in this green a little bit, so I'm going to snag that. There we go. I don't want, we're going to just do a little bit more. I'm definitely favoring the Nino Mio with these two particular pieces, but, you know, them's the shakes sometimes. So we were using this yesterday, but I'm going to give it a clean. Make sure there's no contamination. I had my last one-on-one personal, I taught my last workshop in the last 3 days of the year, so I don't have to teach in person again. And not that I don't, I mean, I love teaching, but I'm going to have a little holiday break until January. It was really great. I really like teaching one-on-one workshops, especially, I just really do it in my studio these days. And I do a few, I'm going to be doing 2 group workshops in different places next year. One in Portugal, hey Magda, and that'll be in May. And then I'll be teaching a workshop, a group workshop at Aeromont School of Crafts, which is in, it's in eastern Kentucky, western North Carolina, Aeromont. We'll be doing a Champ Levé class where you will learn how to do all the fusing, and they have great facilities there. So I believe there'll be 12 students in that class, but it's worth it because what I like about Aeromont is you really great facilities, and you can stay until midnight or 1 a.m. or however late you want. You can work 24 hours in the studio. You have access as much as you want, and they tend to have really good. I'll be bringing a lot because I can drive there as well, so that's also convenient. So if I don't think they're going to have what I want, I'm going to bring it. So that will be in, I guess, October of 2023. So if you want to take a class with me in person, I believe those are your 2 options because my workshops in my studio are actually full for next year. So that is, I guess, good. Good for me. Not so good if you want to take a workshop. But I just want this to be a little bit more A little bit more. Is more a good enough adjective? I feel like there's a fleck of something. I'm going to take this green. I just really love apple green. Always loved it. I think that's good. That'll do. I'll put a little bit. No, we'll do yellow there. I don't want that to be any darker there. That. And we'll switch to, you know what? I'm going to do a little bit of this Citron 737 Old Thompson Chartreuse Chrome, just a little bit, because I really love how vivid it is. Just a little bit. And then we'll switch to the yellow. And let's see. Ooh. Oh, we'll get this all ground and polished today. I think we will. But then again, it's not worth rushing. The process takes what it's going to take. And there's nothing to be benefited from trying, if it's, I would rather miss a deadline than not have the quality. And I've learned that lesson very recently. So, and I've made a big commitment to myself to take the time that the pieces deserve. So now we got the yellow, we're going to do the blue here. Come right like that. Droop. Oh, and I'm going to do yellow here too. Yellow over the greens, blues over the blues. There we go. Oh, and you'll be baby blue. Oops. Just like that. Oh, and I do need to get some that's good. That'll be good. And let's do just a dollop of chartreuse right there. And our chartreuse chrome. Right like that. And then where's our baby yellow? Here you are. Just like that. My apologies, I do need to go get some of the gray because I forgot. I remember we put this piece of foil here. I don't want to put blue over that. I want to get kind of a rich, probably L12 gray. We don't need much of it, which is good because I don't have much wash. Just the tiniest amount. See, that's so small, but you know what? We're not even going to use but a tidbit of that. But I'm going to wash it. There we go. Very sweet. And I'm going to put you right in like that. Just perfect. Now I'm going to do blue in his eye because I don't mind his eye going a little bit bluish. It won't be noticeable. And then blue on his feet over the gray because I don't want that gray to go any darker. Just like that. And while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to go ahead and put my Mr. Carolina Wren in the kiln. So I'm going to do that really fast and I will be right back. You can just think about what I'm going to be doing next. Sounds good. All right, don't let me forget. I got something in the kiln. Something in the kiln. It's going to take about a minute and a half or so to get done. Remember, I have my kiln set at 1430 Fahrenheit, 776 Celsius, and about a minute and a half or until things are melted. So I'm going to really not forget about it. And I'm going to get some blue on here while I'm not forgetting about having something in the kiln. I bet. Little bit of blue. That's good. We're at 1375. 1375. There we go. Oh, it's 1418. I'm going to go stroll to the kiln. Oh, look real nice. Real nice. Perfect. Oh, maybe just another minute. Needed another 20 seconds. I jumped the gun a little bit. Good enough. Beautiful. I'm happy to say that our friend, the Carolina Wren, has been taken out of the kiln. She looks good. She's going to cool down and join us in a moment. So, but, oh, sorry, are you jealous? Our friend, the hummingbird, is like, hey, excuse me, I'm right here. Now we're going to do a little combo of blues and the blues. And a little bit of that. Was this it? No. That. No. That. No. I can see this wire sticking up a little bit. It's probably going to get ground out, but it doesn't matter because that's where the edge is. Could have been a little bit better with that. All right, so those will all be yellow. That'll be good. Which one is that? No. Done. No. Never mind. Oh, there you are. I was going to get the yellow. Oh, and just a reminder, if you are just joining us and you're watching from YouTube, thank you. I can't see who's watching me on YouTube or your chats. So if you would like to participate and chat while you're watching this, definitely go to, my Twitch. Go over to Twitch and watch me there. Here is the link. It's Twitch TV. My handle is Sandra the Enameler. And also, if you're interested in any upcoming live broadcasts, that's where you will be able to find out when and what time I will be broadcasting live. So do take the moment to go to twitch.tv/Sandra the Enameler if you want. Oh, also, I love these little pop-ups. Here's another one. Oh, if you want to buy something from my Etsy shop, here that is. Oh, I should leave that on. Go buy some jewelry. I'm going to leave that on for a moment. No, I'm not. I don't like to see it. There you go. Anyway, let's just get back to work. We're fooled around long enough with these pop-ups. I'm easily amused. Well, and it's like when you finally figure something out, you're like, oh, I get it. I get it. I do feel like I want a little bit more. Do we? Oh, wait. Wrong way. Good enough. All right, no, sorry. Live is hard. Do this. I'm going to bring the yellow. We're in the home stretch here. A bit more water. Just like that is good. That's good. A little bit of this yellow is good. And then, you know what, while I'm here, I'm going to put the yellow here. Because this will all just be the clear. Maybe a dollop of the blue. Here. A little bit right there. A little blue right there. All right, now we'll switch to a little bit of the clear. And 4. Just like that. There we go. And nice. M plus. Or manual. Oh, hold on. Is that too bright? Oh, what is that? I guess A plus. There we are. Anyway, that is ready to dry. And I'm going to go put this under the heat lamp and go get our friend, the Carolina wren, and see where we are. That's why, because we're going to tag team. That one's ready to go, so there's not going to be any downtime. You're going to fly away. Where are you going to go? Hang out over there, buddy. Nice. Here is our friend. And nice. See how it's really rich, especially this is now a lovely kind of almost just a brownish red, really pretty color. This is nice and even. We don't need to do any more red or the oranges, so we're just going to do probably yellow, clear, the same. And that might be our last coat on here. So I'm going to see if I can get a little closer. Can we get more light? You know, I have like 10 lights pointed at this thing. Let's see. Oh, exposure. Hold on. Let's do manual. What does ISO mean? I don't even know what that means. Mean brighter? Oh. Yes. That's better. Let's lock that. There we go. I used to know what ISO. I took one photography class in art school. There we go. I think that's better light-wise. Probably could even, let's see, now we have a yellow light. That's good. So that's what I was saying we're going to do, and that's what we're going to do. So we're pretty much close to the top of these wires, so I think one more coat should do it. And I'm going to do exactly the same. We'll start in his face and work in this direction. Seemed like a good plan the last time, and I'm going to do that again. We'll start with our clear. And I'm even going to do clear all the way over here. Oh. Hold on one second. Someone is tapping on my window. It's my landlord.
I don't think you can, but I've got a big display cabinet. You don't have room for it. And I was trying to get with Brittany, she didn't want it. It's really cool. It's from our old store. Yeah, it's really heavy. It's big. It's an old salvage cabinet from a gas station or something. I don't have room for it. It's so cool. I was hoping somebody could use it. I don't think there was room for it.
Yeah. You know what? I'll ask around. Well, when did you get rid of it?
We can take it with us. Just try to downsize.
I get it. Did you already under contract?
What's that?
Under contract?
Oh, yeah, we closed in 6 days.
Good for you.
We went our contract almost. We had 3 offers. Cash.
Good, good. I'm actually streaming live, so I can do that. Sorry, everybody. You know, landlord stuff. He's fine. If anyone wants it, he wants to know if I wanted a cabinet, a beautiful display cabinet. But he said it's very heavy, so I said I did not. I don't want to. So if you are in the North Carolina, Wilmington area, and you would like to have a free, gorgeous display cabinet, I guess from some sort of old-timey store, let me know. And I will put you in contact with my landlord, and he can arrange that. I bet it's nice, because he's got some nice stuff. So, but I also bet it's very heavy. And yellow here. Yeah, I wonder, there must be a be right back feature. Who knows? There we go. And I'm just going to do yellow over this part of the wing too. I would never put clear over this beautiful, rich umber color. Oh, darker. Thank you. Sorry, I just read the comment about everything else is dark, but I've locked it, so it shouldn't self-adjust anymore. I just have to remember when we walk over to the grinding station to unlock the focus and the light. I got to get one of those gray card things. And you know what? I just ordered a bunch of stuff. I could have gotten one, or I guess I could just use a gray piece of paper. And we're going to do blue. So I should get like a total neutral piece of gray to work on. Maybe that would be better. So we got that. Now we're going to switch back to the clear. I always have to double check that this is the clear. Oh, and it doesn't help that, here's the other thing. remember I was telling you about this is the clear, and this is dark red. This is also N4 on the right, Nino Mia. This is N5, Nino Mia. It's crazy. So another way it's easy to kind of forget, you're like N4, N5. I'm just going to put a big blob of clear right there. Fill in that area. And that's good. Now back to our sweet yellows and blues. Going a little bit thicker because I'm hoping this is going to be my last. It doesn't have to be. If it's, you know, if I have to do one more coat, I will, but I would really rather not do one more coat, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm going just a hair thicker. You know, there's always the risk taker in me. Yellow. That's good. A little dollop here. That's good. Last little bit of blue, and we'll be golden. And I am just going to switch back to my regular blue. It's all good. Oh yeah, his little feet. And I'm not really worried about going over the wires. We're going to be grinding. So we'll grind straight through the glass and re-expose any wire. Same thing goes, I'm not worried about getting enamel on the silver because that's all going to get taken care of. Oh, I see a fleck. Let me get that fleck. There you go. Do blue over there, that'll be fine. That's good. Big dollop right there. Boop, boop, boop. I know it always looks so gloopy at the end. But then you get to do the expose all the beauty at the very end. There we go. There we go. If you're just joining us, you're like, what am I even looking at here? You'll just have to wait and see. Drop there. All right. That is good, good, good. Now I'm going to wick up just a little bit of that moisture. And I'm going to take a moment and fire our friend the hummingbird. So here, while we're doing that, you can enjoy this link to my Etsy store. Here we go. You are in. I don't remember. Was that our second coat? No, that was the first coat on our friend the hummingbird, wasn't it? Oh, wow. How do I not even remember? So I think we have one more coat on the hummingbird. And I'm going to fuss with the light. Now it seems really yellow. This is probably the last coat, so we're going to let this dry and fire that. But I think we have one more on hummingbird. But then we get to do all the fun stuff of grinding and polishing. So it'll be an afternoon of elbow grease together. So, oh, here's a fun one. Let's see, turn that one off. Just in case you forget who you were looking at. Yeah, I spent like an hour making these. Hold on. I think I have one more. Oh, we've got that one. Oh, that's if you want to subscribe to my Vimeo channel, which is curated tutorials, edited, step-by-step, project-based tutorials, and I even sell kits of colors and supplies that go with each. Not necessarily every single project, but a lot of them. So if you're interested in a more methodical approach rather than just watching me herky-jerky this, check out my videos on Vimeo, and that there's a link for my website below. So, oh, let me go see. Hold on. Oh, yep, $13.85. You enjoyed that while I go pull Mr. Hummingbird out of the kiln. So close. Yeah, one more coat for Mr. Hummingbird. Lovely. Oh, give it to me. There we go, buddy. Thank you. All right, you're gonna cool. Hummingbird is gonna cool. I'm gonna take you away to go dry. There we go. I guess we can say goodbye to that one. And while we're waiting for things to cool and dry, if you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments on my Twitch channel. We have a couple seconds, well, probably a minute while that thing cools, so we can put our next thing on. I guess I could show you what else I'm working. Well, I mean, I'm kind of excited. I'm going to be making a few really simple pendants, but I guess I'll go get them while we're waiting. Got 2 pages of stuff. And you know what? This is a good opportunity to practice my focus. Let's go back to auto. There we go. Just for the fun of it. Here's kind of like just some fun stuff that I'm working on just to put in my store. I've got this one. The base is ready. Let me grab the... I always have like 1,000 things in progress. So let me just show you. Oh, look, it's like magic. Hold on. I'm going to do auto exposure, see if that is helpful. These are bases that don't have anything. They mostly have things ready to go. They are completely empty. These are pieces, I think we saw these earlier in the week. They are, I haven't even made the wires for these yet, but they're enameled on the front and the back, and they're ready for the next step. Now these are what I'm actually going to be working on in between things this week. I'm going to kind of squeeze these in. Like I was saying, we've got this sweet guy right here. I've got, you can see it. It's easier to see kind of skewed. I've got the wires all fired in place, and I'm going to be doing this color palette. So if any of these look good to you, they will be hopefully in the Etsy store in the next week or so. We'll see. It's a work in progress. Oh, and I'm going to be doing this sweet butterfly here, which I'm excited about. Like, he's going to have like this really vivid cobalt blue with kind of the vivid. That's something that's coming up. Haven't decided what color these guys are going to be. But oh, and this I'm kind of. Oh, I can't wait to do this. These are all going to be 24 karat gold wires. So, but this one's going to be fun, and I haven't started the wires on that, and these are going to be sweet. So coming soon to my Etsy store. So hold on. Wait, I have to turn things down. Coming soon to my, I'm getting better, Etsy store. Boom. I bet that my piece is probably cool and will be, I'm going to go check on it. You can enjoy, think about what Christmas presents we'll see. I'm really liking these kind of sea foam colors, so I'm excited about that. So there you go. Now, pretty. Let's see, are you still warm? A little warm still. Well, not terrible. Oh, hot. A little too hot right now, but I still have it in my hand. There we go. It's funny, I can see the stream. There must be like a 10-second delay because I'm watching the stream on my laptop to my left, and it's like a weird time traveling. I'm future Sandra. All right, there was that and that. Now we're going to go back. Say goodbye to these for now. This is going to be kind of ongoing. Work on some of these later this week, although I have 3 huge commissions to finish, but I'm hoping to get some of these done in between, you know. Oh yeah, this is going to be, that's that base with the drop. So that was the show and tell. And we've got our friend here. And there we go. And let's just have a quick look. Looking nice. And we've got one more coat over this whole thing. And I'm probably going to do yellow. No, I'm going to grab some pale blushy pink to put over this because I don't want this to get too orange. I want to kind of keep the fuchsia. So I'm going to take a moment and scooch this in. Hold on. Get all of that. Thanks for bearing with me. Let's start with that. Is good. Let's see if that's in the right spot. Good enough. And focus that. And then this. What is this? Oh, that's the time thing. It's milliseconds. Ooh, that's very bright. How about that? Lock it. Looks, I'm lost the color. Manual white balance. Probably fussing with it. There we go. Now we're going to put one more coat of everything over this little guy. So let's just do it. And the pink. Got a little bit of pink. And don't have much, but we don't need much. Don't want much, don't need much. Gonna give it a little wash. There we go. Sweet, blushy pink. Oh my goodness, it's just gonna do exactly the same thing. This coat does go a little faster because we don't have to do as much. Just gonna put this blushy pink. Let's see, there's little flecks of blue. Someone was using this blushy pink. That should be good. Let's do a quick. All right, we're done with that color. And we'll just go right into the blue. Straight up here. We're pretty much, some of these areas, we're right up to the tops, but some are not. So, but just to be on the cautious side. I really hate to start grinding and then have to stop, wash everything, and add a dollop of enamel somewhere. Oh, it breaks my flow, harshes my zen. There we go, and then we'll just do yellow. Straight up yellow. Just some blue right there in the eyeball. While I have the blue, might as well do your little feetsies. Little blob. Little blob. Most of this will get ground away. There we go. It's important to keep your nerve when you get towards the end, because you put so many hours into this and you feel like you just want it to be over. But you know what? The 11th hour is not the time to cut corners or stop too soon. You got to take the enamel to the tops of the wires or the bases, because we're going to want a really smooth finish. So there we go. Now I'm going to take 1 second and go put Mr. Carolina Wren into the kiln. Alright, something's in the kiln. Don't want to forget. The longest I ever forgot something in the kiln was probably about 40 minutes, maybe even an hour. It was when I had my studio at Art Space in Raleigh, North Carolina. We had a snowstorm, and if you're from North Carolina, you know that we don't get many of those. And it was Sunday afternoon. The whole city had been shut down, and I went into the studio. I was the only one in the building, and it was so beautiful. The snow was coming down. It was just nice. And then, I mean, it's a big old warehouse, so maybe it was haunted, maybe it wasn't. But I heard this noise, and I thought, oh no, I'm the only one here. This is totally going to be the time that I get murdered. So I had something to kill, and I forgot about it. And I went to go secure the perimeter of the building. I was like, you know what? I better go check and make sure because people didn't always remember to lock all the exterior exits and entrances. So I was like, I better just go upstairs, go downstairs, and check all the doors. Freaking myself out in the process, because I swore I heard somebody walking around upstairs. And anyway, by the time I got back, I'd forgotten about it. And I was like, doop, doop, doop. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, it was 40 minutes. And you know what? Well, thankfully, it was a bunch of little pendants that were all shades of blue and green. It wouldn't have ended as well if this were like, oh, there we are, sandblabbing. Speaking of leaving things in the kiln. There you go, buddy. Out of the kiln. Even a little underdone. I want to put it back in. Let me see. Let me grab my glasses. You're fine. That's good. There we go. Sorry, where was I? Anyway, 40 minutes in the kiln. Well, I mean, thankfully my kiln has a temperature controller. If it didn't have a temperature controller, who knows what would have happened, but everything was fine. So all's well that ends well. And there was no, obviously, there was no human interlopers, but maybe there were ghosts. I guess we'll never know. There we go. Just home stretch. Little blue. Little blue. Blue. That's good. Yellow. Yellow. That's good. And then clear. Bada bing, bada boom. The last little bit of clear. So we're not even going to use all the clear that we washed, but that's good. You want a little bit more than you know you need. So let me go a little bit thicker. That looks good. Home stretch. Home stretch. That seems good. Dun, 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 dun. Just in case. There we go. We're going to definitely do a little wicking on this. We're going to go let this guy dry and let us go see where our Carolina wren is. Be right back. Go over here. Oh, it's still hot. It's going to be not quite in focus. It's still hot, that's why I haven't pulled it off the trivet yet. Ooh. There we go, everybody. The trivet is cooler than the piece. That's looking good. That we are ready. See where the enamel is way nice and over the height and it's all gloopy gloppy, we are ready to grind and polish this and turn it into a beautiful gem. And it's slightly under fired, and I had a thought that I might put it back in. See how it's a little bit lumpy? Yes. Do I? Trying to decide. Fine, I'm going to put it back in for a little, it's the final thing. I want it to make sure we get a really good connection between the layers. So if I was going to be putting, see how it's kind of really not quite as smooth as I would like. It's pretty, it's like 90% there. I am going to put this back in the kiln, probably when I'll just put them in at the same time and give this one more firing. I don't love that idea, but what you're going to do, what you're going to do. So that is what we're doing. And then we will honestly get started with our grinding and polishing. So I'm going to go ahead and do the autofocus there and the zoom. There we go. Who knows? Just getting that up a little bit. And we still have to let that guy dry. So let's go for auto exposure, but let's go. Oh, see, look, it darkens right up. So hold on. There we go. Need the gray card. Yeah, definitely going to get a gray workstation. I think that will help. E+. Let's go with manual. Blown it. 12. You know, I'll stop fussing. Oh, that's too much. Fine. Auto. Deal with it. So that's what's going to happen. And I have the grinding station set up. And that will be next. Hold tight. There we go. You know what I think we're going to do? I think we're going to take a short break. It is 12:10 or so Eastern Standard Time. We're going to take a 10-minute break and resume, and I'll have everything set up at the grinding station. Then you don't have to fuss with me, and I'll have it all figured out, and I will start the stream live again in 10 minutes. So everyone can take a little bathroom break, me included. All right, thank you, and I'll see you in just a little bit. Hope you join us again soon.